How can I help?
Okay, let's start. Good afternoon to Ms. May. Thank you for giving us opportunity to have an interview section with you.
This interview session is a requirement for our compulsory subject, which is English proficiency, where it tests our ability to speak and communicate fluently with a figure outside our comfort zone.
Okay, alright.
So we will start with introduce ourselves first. We are from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. My name is Nazmi Aida binti Muhammad Shukri.
My name is Afrika binti Abdul Rahim.
My name is Ibnu Hanif bin Salim.
My name is Muhammad Hafiz bin Samadi.
My name is Kosanki.
Let's start with our interview. First of all, can you briefly walk us through your personal education and work background?
Okay. I came from a small town in mainland side of Penang, Pulau Pinang State. My hometown was Pematang Pao. I'm sure you heard of Pematang Pao. So I came from a very small town. My neighbors are all Malay community. So some of my good friends were growing up with the Malay friends in the Malay kampung. So I went to a Chinese school in the local, about 1 kilometer from my house. My high school was in Bukit Petajam, Jising High School. And after that, after I finished my high school, I went to Penang Island, Panjang High School, where I studied journalism diploma qualification. So upon finishing my journalism qualification, I came to KL to work as a junior journalist for China Press. So I have, from a very young age, I already said I want to be a journalist. So since I was very young, I just knew that I wanted to be a journalist. So I worked as a journalist in Kuala Lumpur for 3 years. And after that, I just thought, you don't make a lot of money but become a journalist. My first pay was 430 ringgit a month, long time ago. Yeah. So I thought, I wanted to go to travel and later go to university. So then I went overseas. I traveled for a bit, for a year. I went to New Zealand, and after that, I sat their university entrance qualification exam. So I was accepted to Massey University, and then I become what we call is a mature student. Anyone beyond the age of 21 is considered a mature student, because in New Zealand, the age of going to university is 18. So if you're 21, you become a mature student. So I was about 25 when I went to university, because I've been working for 3 years. Yeah. So I went in and I studied a Bachelor of Commerce, majoring in international business and finance. So as you can see, it's totally different than my journalism background. I went from art stream to become commerce stream. Don't ask me why, I don't know. It's just something that I thought, well, maybe I'm interested in business. I'm always interested in contact with people, you know. So, yep, I did my degree in New Zealand. After that, upon graduation, I started working. And my first job was with a food company in New Zealand. It's called Heinz Watties. Yeah, so that was Heinz. That was my first job. So I worked for Heinz Watties for 4 years. And because of my language skill, I was able to speak Mandarin and English, and they sent me to Hong Kong after 4 years. So I was sent to Hong Kong as an expatriate in Hong Kong for about a year. Then they sent me to Malaysia. I said, back to my home country. So I came back to Malaysia. I helped them set up a new business, food service business. And I became the business manager for Heinz Malaysia. So I've been with Heinz I worked for Heinz for 16 years. Yes. So in that 16 years, they sent me to Singapore. I helped them open up office in Vietnam, in China. Then they sent me to Indonesia for 2 years. I was in Jakarta for 2 years. Then they sent me back to Malaysia. Yeah. So I would say in that 16 years with Heinz, I used about 7 passports. So it's a lot of traveling. Yeah. So after that, Heinz as a company was sold because Heinz was a publicly listed company in New York Stock Exchange, and the company decided to sell. So the change of ownership, then the culture changed. So I left Heinz, and the next job was I joined a Hong Kong company called Lee Kum Kee. So that's where you can see a lot of article about me talking about Asian business, Asian sources. So I worked for Lee Kum Kee as managing director for 4 years. And then, so it's interesting, I went from an American multinational to a very, very conservative Chinese business, family owned, not publicly listed. So I stayed there for 4 years, did a lot of changes, and the business grew a lot. But somehow I feel that the Chinese way of doing business is not really me, it's not me. I'm too outspoken for a Chinese family business. So I left. Then Campbell, I was going to go hiking. So I went hiking. I went to Mount Everest Base Camp. So I hiked a few places in the world. Then I came back and Campbell said, come and join us. I said, no, I'm going to retire now. I said, no, you can't retire. So they basically twist my arm, so I joined them. I joined them in August last year. So here I am. So 20 years, I'm still in food business.
So next, I could ask about what is the exact scope in like your responsibility in this company?
Right now, okay, my title is the managing director for Campbell Southeast Asia. This includes responsible for the total profit and loss, the P&L of the company. So if you can imagine, say a company, we have so many departments. We have our factory, our manufacturing, and then from there we have dairy, and then we have the commercial side, we have the sales and marketing. So if you look at company, imagine it's like an orchestra. I'm like a conductor. I'm not an expert. I'm not R&D head, I'm not a QC head, I'm not a sales head, I'm not a marketing head, but I have enough knowledge to bring the best out of everyone, and I'm a conductor. I lead the team to say, okay, this is the direction, do this, we need to do this in order to do that, and that's my role.
So, next, like, I want to ask about, want to know about your initial experience to this job line.
My initial what?
Spirit, your self-inspired, like you going for this food industry.
Sorry, I don't understand what's my self-inspired.
Sorry.
What inspired me?
Inspired.
Okay. Nothing. It's just opportunity. When you came out of university, you just want a job. I sent out 30 letters, and this company said, come for interview. I got 2 interviews. One was a bank, the other one was a food company. I thought, I don't want to work for a bank. So food company sounds good. So I think the point I'm trying to make is, a lot of young people, even like yourself, you don't know what you want to do you?
Yeah.
Not really know. You don't know. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you study. The most important thing is you. I don't know I want to work for food. I was a journalist, how do I know? But why did I get into food? Because it was a good company to work for. And I'm always curious. I always want to learn. So I think, looking back, you can put me in any industry, I will still work. I will do anything because I wanted to learn, I wanted to do better, I wanted to achieve results. So I think it's about individual rather than inspiration. I mean, I was inspired and I wanted to be a journalist, but after 3 years, it's like, maybe not as good as what you expect.
But like if you look at industry, like our scope of our background education is a different thing. Like now I study for education science. But if I want to work in industry, but people will see like your scope of study background is education. Why don't normally people ask like why don't you go education?
But what does it matter? I have marketing manager who was a food technologist. What does food technologists know about marketing and consumer behavior? the key is you. How far are you prepared to step out of your comfort zone? It's not how people see you.
Okay, the next question is, can we know whether you're socially active outside of your working circle?
Yes, okay. How to put socially active? I like to be more active, but I think in terms of personal, I'm married with children. So my two daughters, they are my friends, really. We do things together. So apart from that, I have a great group of friends. We hike. We do hiking. We hike every weekend.
The friend of yours in this company?
No, they are not in this company. Outside. Outside. Yeah, totally outside. I have friends who cook. I have friends who's into cars. I have friends who's into gardening. For example, I joined an organization called Eco Night, and their mission is to make sure everyone turn their household garbage into compost. So I take part in a workshop. I create a bin. So whatever my kitchen waste, vegetable peel and cardboard, I put it in the bin and turn it into a compost. So the compost becomes dark soil, so it's become very fertilized. It's a fertilizer. So it's an eco thing. So I have many interests. I help out and I support Hospice Malaysia. Do you know what's hospice?
Not really.
Hospice is a volunteer organization where they help people who are dying, help them go through the final few months of their life. So say people who have cancer, they are dying, but their family don't know how to look after them. So we have retired nurses, we have retired doctors come and help them. I'm not a nurse, but I can do the volunteering work, I talk to them. So these are the social activities I do.
Next question is, did you ever had any problem balancing your working life with your personal social life? Like this question, if you already have the problem, how you handle the problem?
Okay. Yes, definitely, especially for women. If you have children, you need to balance your work, which can be quite demanding, especially with travel, young children, and then a husband. so it's quite difficult. But I think the family support is very important. The understanding, is very important. Did I have a problem when the kids are very young? They don't demand, but I do feel guilty of leaving them behind. But then you just need to make time, make quality. You turn time into quality time. I don't spend a lot of time with them, but the time, make sure that we have time together is quality time.
Next is, I would like to ask, have you ever joined activity involving the benefits to the community?
Like I said, some volunteer work. Normally, I do things that is meaningful to me, has some personal meaning to me. Personally, I love gardening and I care about environment, and this is why I get involved with the compost activity. So that and I teach my friend how to make compost. Okay, so I'll do whatever I can. I can't be spending all my time to go and do this as a full-time job, but the people who knows me, if they want to do compost, they will ask me. So I'll teach them. So that's the community thing. The other thing is, I talked about hospice. It is very close to me personally because both my parents died of cancer. And when my father was dying, we also have the benefit of nurses come to the house to look after him. And these nurses, they're from hospice. So I feel that now, it's time for me to give back.
We all are just a student. So in our point of view, you as a managing director, it seems like to us you have reached a pinnacle standpoint in life. But do you still have any idea, some sort of future goal in mind?
Yes, absolutely. I think your position doesn't define your achievement. Okay, you may be a managing director. Is it a pinnacle in life? No. It depends on how you define pinnacle in life. Because to me, achieving greater good, helping other people is the pinnacle in life. Yeah. So I think if you study this thing about, I'm not sure if you study this Maslow hierarchy of needs. Yeah, you heard Maslow, yeah. So your first level is that you need food, you need clothing, you need housing, then you need family, you need love, and then you need money, and then in the end you need satisfaction in life. You need to be able to give. Okay. So I think we all go through different stages. When you reach my age, in your 50s, you want to give back. But when you're young, you struggle, right? You go through your stages. What I like to do is hopefully one day I can help new startup in Malaysia, young people like you. If you want to start a company, I would like to be able to help as an advisor or give advice to see more Malaysian can get into business and avoid the mistakes, because when you're inexperienced, you make mistakes. If I can just be an advisor for those who really want to set up business, then I'll be very happy to do that.
I want to ask about like, do you, how to say, in this company, do you like aim your workers to have like, to out than society needs, like contribute to society?
I think in this company, I'm more focused on immediately what you need. For example, I found when I first come to this company, people are not very active. They don't do exercise. So the first thing I do is that, okay, all right, I'm the active person, okay? So I always say active body, active mind. So I actually set up a hiking group, hiking with May once a month. So I still do that. We hike Bukit Gasing in PJ once a month. So normally we have about employee, like, you know, employee staff, not shop workers, but employee and like salary staff. We have about 220 people. But then because they work shift and all that, but most of the time I have about 30 people come with me, go hiking once a month. So I try to encourage them to be active, because when you are healthy, you become less of a burden to the people you love. Because when you're sick, people have to look after you. So first you look after yourself, then when you're able, you look after others. It is the Confucius thinking. The Confucius say first, you look after yourself first, then you look after your family, and then you look after your country, and then you look after the world, in that order. So first you must make sure you are strong, you don't become a burden for other people. So I haven't been able to influence them to do good, but I start with like, you look after yourself first.
What's your future plan to like decide then that the new business to contribute to society, like in the future?
Like I say, I would like, when I'm no longer working full time, I would like to be some sort of advisor or consultant for younger people who they need any advice to, you know, in terms of food business or get into business or start up a new business. And or maybe for some Malaysian companies, small or medium enterprises, if they want to get into business, or any charity organization, if they need me to be on the board to help them, then I'll be more than happy to do that.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all from us.
Alright.
So before we finish, we would like to show our appreciation to you.
Oh no, you shouldn't. But you're a student, you should buy me anything. I'm sorry, I haven't prepared anything for you because I don't even know how many of you are coming. Thank you very much. I feel embarrassed now.